So, I want to talk to you about one thing I think is very important to understand. Don't fear the whites wines. We have a much larger variety of everything that we offer here, but this is a good representation of why not to fear the whites. And we'll start with this Viognier. This is a Central Coast Viognier. Carol Shelton, she's an amazing winemaker, and this particular Viognier, that's the grape varietal. Looks like Viogniers, how it's spelled. Its origins are from Rhone Valley, France, but this is it's like this honeyed, almost like a light, it has like a light caramel kind of flavor and texture to it. It's delicious. White flowers, kind of reminds me of like when you open up a flower cabinet or like a grocery store. It has like this kind of floral green note to it. Absolutely delicious. Very versatile grape as well. She doesn't do a lot of oak on this one, which I like. But it's rich, it's viscous. This can go with heavier dishes. This can go with pork chop. You can have this with, heavy fish dishes like salmon. You can have it with pasta. It's not something that to be afraid to say, oh well, if I'm having a piece of pork chop or a piece of heavy fish or even a lighter, leaner style red meat. Drink things that you enjoy with what you like to eat. There's no right or wrong answer. You're the professional appreciator, right? This happens to be, again, I really enjoy white burgundy. Now, yes, white burgundy, good white burgundy tends to be a little more on the pricier side. But again, it's, we have special occasions. We have everyday drinking wines, don't judge me, but we have special occasion wines as well. And good burgundy represents that. I think that it's important to treat yourself, especially if you're out to dinner or making dinner for loved ones, whatever, and you're like, you know what, I want something really, really special. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone, maybe spend a little bit more, and you'll be amazed at the quality difference that you may find. You may find you like it more, which is unfortunate because obviously they get a little pricey. This, as I mentioned before, this happens to be one of my favorite varietals that is so overlooked, it drives me absolutely insane. It's Riesling. Riesling wears a lot of different hats. You can go from 7% alcohol all the way up to 14%, depending on what part of the world that you're getting it from. And the style. This happens to be an Alsace wine, so it's made in what they call dry or bone dry, which means there's zero residual sugar, so it's not sweet. Again, nice, beautiful, bright acidity, wonderful viscosity. And again, if you like this, it comes off as being slightly sweet, even though it's completely dry. If that's what you're into, then get a glass, get a bottle of that, have it with your steak. Who cares? You're the one that is paying the bill, and you're the one that's putting together that enjoyment factor. Again, talk to your wine steward and say, hey, is this gonna go with my short ribs? And I would say something to the effect of like, it might be a good starter for you because it doesn't necessarily have the viscosity to hold it with short ribs. So again, we stay within those parameters. We have to be reasonable about that. Then we move into, this is Flower Chardonnay. This is a classic Sonoma style Chardonnay. It's nice, it's rich, not too buttery. There's this little term called malolactic fermentation. For those of you that like a big, rich, buttery, creamy style, whether it be Chard, whatever, there's a process called malolactic fermentation, and I don't want to go into it, just look it up. But what it does, basically, it produces a much fatter style or riper style wine. Then we finish up with what I think would be considered the best, one of the best Chardonnays out of California, and it's Kistler. And I've done a series on Kistler and fried chicken, and I'm telling you, if you haven't tried that, you got to jump into that. But we finish with the whites. Don't be afraid of the whites.